Oh, am I live? Oh, let me put that down. This is Stacy from Stacy Sells Philly. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Thursday. We have a great guest for you today, and his name is Thomas Covington, and he is from the Covington Agency. He is a insurance broker, and we're going to talk all things insurance. So, let's start. Let's get him on. Oh, I'm Stacy from Stacy Sells Philly. So, you guys know I'm a real estate agent, but I'm very interested in helping you guys understand all of the things related to real estate, plus some more. So, insurance is something that you need in your life, either for your home, your car, the truck you use for your business, your office. You may need liability insurance. Plus, there are financial insurance products that are very interesting. And let's see what Mr. Covington has to offer us. I also want some of you know that not having insurance on your home is it can be a big issue, can be a great financial strain on your home if you have a fire or a major and bad leak. So just think about all the people that you know who may need an insurance checkup and forward this video to them and let's see if they need help. And if they do, let's have them talk to Thomas or talk to me, and I'll find someone who can help them. All right, let's get him on. All right, there he
Hey,
is.
hey.
So
I'm here.
I want you guys to know that this young man has hosted his own football show, football player. So tell me, where did you play football last?
Okay. You and I met at a great institution.
Uh, are you gonna go way back there and talk about when we
way
was little
back,
babies?
way back a little bit at Lehigh. I always wanted to mention Lehigh because they were so instrumental in my life and my development. So Long Island Lutheran, shout out to you, Brookville, New York.
Absolutely, the Crusaders.
The Crusaders, that's right. And I think, well, it's over here somewhere. There they are. There they are. The
Okay.
Crusaders. There you go. But I went on and played at Georgia Tech, Georgia Institute of Technology down in Atlanta, Georgia. Had the great fortune of winning a national championship down there with the Yellow Jackets back in
Awesome.
1990. So definitely made the right decision there. And then went on to the Not For Long League and played there with the San Francisco 49ers. The National Football League is what other people know it as in the
Okay.
NFL. But played out there with them for a couple of years until I had some injuries that just wouldn't correct themselves, and so had to go back into the real world. And so those are the teams that I actually had a chance to play
Okay, awesome. I just want to address one of our viewers have put a comment on, and
for.
this is recorded. And we
Mhm.
are live, and all of my lives are recorded and will automatically post once we're done. We should be on for about 30 minutes, Tom. So get ready.
Okay. All
Get
right, let's
ready.
do it.
Get
Let's
ready.
do it.
So, as Tom mentioned, we went to high school together on Long Island in New York at Long Island Lutheran. And Tom and I came from the same town, Hempstead, Long
Hempstead.
Island.
That's right.
Hempstead.
Shout out to the Stead, Strong Island.
So we are all grown up now, and
Yes,
we have real people jobs.
yes. I'll be
And
52 on Saturday.
what was that?
I'll be 52 on Saturday.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So you're older than me. I'll be 52 in June,
In
I
June,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, in
You
June.
think?
I'm trying not to count. Okay. All right. So here we are, nearing 52, and we
Yes,
have real people's job.
real people.
And what we're going to be talking about is insurance. And
Okay,
insurance is a real adult conversation.
it
We
is.
want to make sure that people understand that if they have assets, they
Mhm,
should be covering them with insurance.
mhm.
So, Tom, let me give you guys Tom's resume. He's a licensed Georgia insurance agent and an NFL player for the San Francisco 49ers, born in New York, groomed in the South. Awesome. Life's experiences have taken him many places, but he calls Atlanta, GA, home. He's a family man of 5 children and a husband to a phenomenal wife. I love people and the joy of developing a friend out of a stranger. This is just beautiful. So
Awesome.
you currently have your own agency, your own insurance agency, and your
Yes.
background is farmers insurance, and now you're on your own.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So let's talk to the people about who needs insurance.
There you go. Well, insurance is something that everyone needs. Uh, you're talking about a situation where you're transferring risk. And
Okay.
all of us go through a situation where we're going to enter into a risky situation. Every time that we sit behind the wheel of a car, if we're actually in our home and there's a bad storm, um, something that was made by somebody else and didn't do quite a good job, and therefore you have electrical fire or something of that nature that causes an event in your life that you're just not prepared for.
Right.
And that's why they call them accidents. These are things that you don't know when you wake up in the morning what's going to happen that day. But you can see how people drive sometimes, or you can just see how catastrophes happen to other people. And we see it on TV, and we often say, oh, that's terrible, but it'll never happen to me.
Right.
Well, insurance is the way to protect you from those unfortunate events. And you have to be properly insured in order to restore your life back to the way it was prior to that event. And so it's very important the way you go about shopping for that and what you do to secure yourself and secure your assets.
Okay. All right. I love it. So to transfer risk against unforeseen events.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely. Mhm.
So everyone needs insurance. So
Yes,
everyone, even little babies to mom and pop.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay.
There's a
So
situation where like a newborn is born.
right.
And of course, that's the most innocent situation ever to possibly happen. And you're excited about it, and everything is great. But unfortunately, bad things happen to the little ones also as well. And so, life insurance is very important to have on them. Okay, it's important to have on them should they have the situation where they face a situation that takes their life from us.
Mhm.
And then there's, the burials and the different things that you go through to take care of that. But then there's also something a lot of people don't think about is that they contract a certain illness or disease or a disability that then later on in life will basically, you know, pr- take them out of the situation of being insurable. They will not be insurable, and they won't be able to get in life insurance. They won't be able to get health insurance in certain situations. And so, in light of that, a lot of people that may have been given short lives spans often live longer than they were diagnosed, and so they go on and live longer lives. But they also are going to need some protection as well. And there are different life insurance products out there for critical illness or early for situations where you have terminally ill or those type of things. These are life products, and these are products that can help you while you're actually living. So, um, you know, we even say it, health insurance for our little kids and different things like that. There's a lot of stuff that'll go around for that, but also later on in life, the ability to take care of yourself when you get older and you're not able to take care of yourself and you need somebody else to do it. Long-term care,
Long-term
those
care. Okay.
yeah, those are things that a lot of people just don't think about. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be just fine, until I'm 100, and then I'll just keel over, and then I'll just die, and everything will be all right. That's the way we all think, and that's what hey, I feel the same way. I'm gonna live to 100, and after that, I can't promise you.
Right. I
But
mean, we see that in real estate. We
Yeah.
see mom and pop stay in their home and
Hmm.
until it's unfortunate. And we
Hmm.
really don't want that. I mean, we're
Yeah.
educated, and as children and grandparents, we can educate them on what their choices are.
That's right.
So we should use this education for the better good
That's
for
right.
all of our community.
That's right.
So, okay, so I have a client who just had a
Hmm.
brand new baby girl.
All
So
right.
what would you recommend to them?
Well, what you need to take a look at is what your plans are. Okay. What is it that you're looking to do in life? What are you doing right now? Are you renting? Do you want to own a home? Are you driving? Is the child in daycare? Is the child going to go to public school? Are they going to go to private school? Are you going to pay for their college education? Are you going to pay for a high school education? What are these things that you're looking to plan for that child and what you want to do? And then, of course, look at what your plans are. How do you want to live life? How long do you want to work? When do you want to retire? How much money do you believe that you're going to need in retirement? Um, often I lay out the number for a lot of people. Just a couple uh, for the last 20 years of your life, let's just say, of retirement from 65 to 85, it's going to cost you over $400,000 just to eat.
Wow.
Absolutely. So if you're looking at your 401k right now and it says I have 400 and something thousand dollars, well, that's just enough money to eat.
Wow.
Okay. Right.
So you're
Now, what do you?
recommending that families, single individuals, couples, what have you, whatever their
Mhm.
familiar state is, they should come and they should talk to an insurance agent
You
about
have to.
all of their desires and their needs, where they're going,
Right.
and all of their plans.
Sitting down with an agent like myself and others out there is going to allow you to have the serious questions asked. It's going to basically put you in a situation that I never thought about that before.
Right.
I didn't think I needed to worry about that. But the unfortunate event of one of the couples dying prematurely means that all income that is earned goes away. All potential income that was going to be earned is not going to be earned. And therefore, things are going to change in that household.
Right.
Uh, but the ability to have proper insurance in place and things structured in a way to maybe take care of those things puts you in a lot better situation, takes away a lot of stress. It can't replace the lost loved one,
Right.
but it can provide you with the future that you both were planning together and enable you to do those things with the gift of basically having the knowledge of pre-planning and getting the proper insurance in place.
Well, that sounds beautiful, and it means that people have to be forward thinking,
You
and
have to.
maybe they aren't. So let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
Do people tend to be underinsured? I know
Yes,
that's kind of, oh, okay.
yes, yes.
I know it was sort of a general question.
No, and it is, and of course, times are tough. Okay, and
Right.
so everybody's looking to budget, and they want to pretty much find a deal and find a way. Nobody really wants to pay for insurance.
Mm,
If like for example, auto insurance. You don't want to pay for it until you need it, and unfortunately, you can't do that. You have to pay for it when you don't need it, so that when you do need it, it's available to you.
it's right
Uh,
there.
is right there. And then of course you have to understand that there's so many different things that are involved with just auto insurance. It's not just about the lowest quote. And because if you don't have proper coverage, it can cause severe financial devastation to you and your family. And so it's important to really focus on those things and make sure that you are in place to have what you need when you need it.
Okay. Well, guys, this is Stacy from Stacy Sells Philly, and I am chatting with Thomas Covington from the Covington Agency, which is an insurance brokerage in Atlanta, Georgia. And we are actually high school mates from Long
Hmm.
Island Lutheran High School.
Yep.
And we are living our adult lives here, doing real adult things. And we
Hmm.
want you to know how serious this is a concern of ours, and that we want to let you guys know as much as possible to educate people on the need of insurance. So, one of the things that I think about as a real estate agent is a senior who lives in a home,
Okay.
not necessarily a very mature senior, but someone who owns a home as an air property, and it was given to them, and they have no insurance.
Hmm.
So they are quote unquote self insured, and they have no mortgage. I want to know, is this a good idea? I mean, shouldn't folks, what do you think? Someone who owns a home outright, should they have
Right.
insurance?
Well, when you start to talk about condos, high rises, different things that come into play with that, where a person doesn't have their own physical home. Well, now they're talking about their own personal property, and usually in situations like that, it has to insurance comes into play to take care of everything from the walls in.
Right.
Okay. And you have to look at what you have and what you're doing to find out how much is that stuff worth to you. Now, of course, pictures and different things that get burned in a fire or lost or damaged, they cannot be replaced. But there is a financial obligation that comes around should there be water damage, smoke damage, any of those things where all of your wardrobe is completely taken away from you and you have to buy all new clothes.
That must be
Uh,
difficult.
Yes, and furniture and all of the little knickknack stuff that you got to go and you got to replace and everything else. Are you itemizing those things? Are you looking at that? Can you actually afford to replace everything that you need right now?
There you
Okay.
go. There you
Now
go.
there's other things, special needs people or different things that you have, medical equipment, whatever it is. A lot of stuff that you have to come in. Now, is it your fault that this thing happened? And are you going to get sued by your neighbor because they
Oh,
lost a lot of stuff? Yeah.
so
So you're
that's
not,
that's possible in the
it
city of
is.
Philadelphia, because we have a lot of row homes that
Hmm.
are right next to each other.
That's right.
And then I have a question about the type of coverage, replacement
Mhm.
coverage. I don't
Mhm.
understand that. So
Okay.
explain that to me after you're done.
Well, when a lot of us are looking for bargains, there can be a situation where a bargain can be afforded you because the agent will actually assume that actual costs is lower than replacement costs. Okay. And a lot of people overlook this. They don't see that. They just know that they are saving $200 now on their home insurance or maybe $500 or whatever it is. Now, replacement costs is going to be the actual cost it is to replace an item. So
Oh,
if you actually have a television that you purchased 6 years ago for $500, it's no longer worth that anymore. Okay. But if it got destroyed in a fire, flood, whatever it was, and it needed to be replaced, if you have actual costs, it's the $500 less the depreciation over the last 5 years. So it may just be $100 that you get in that situation for your television. Well, that type of television can't be purchased for $100. So all of a sudden you're lost and you're not basically brought back to your current situation that you're in. So replacement cost is going to be that particular instrument that's going to be able to replace that particular TV at the cost in which you spent to pay for it.
I love that. So if you don't have the money to, or the resources to replace everything in your home, and you
Hmm.
own your home outright,
Right.
think about this. Think
That's
about
right.
replacement costs versus, what was the other one?
Oh, actual cost.
Actual costs, insurance
Absolutely.
coverage. You
Yes.
need to speak to a broker like Tom, but I want you to just think about how saving that little bit of money may cost you so much more in the end,
Right.
not including being sued by your neighbor
That's
if you're in
right.
a row home. So I didn't even think about that.
hmm And so, and so a lot of those things come into play. How much is your liability coverage? How much medical coverage do you have if somebody slips and falls in your apartment and hurts themselves and has to go to the doctor? A lot of people will sit there with, $500 or 1,000, and then just walking into the hospital costs more than that.
Right, right,
So, but the thing is that people will say, well, I just can't afford it. I can't afford those things. And I understand, totally understand that and everything else. And so sometimes you can only do what you can afford. But don't fool yourself in saying, oh, well, I just want to save this $50, you know, on this rental insurance or on this homeowner's insurance, just to be able to say I saved $50. And then, of course, as you understand, is that our premiums, our payments, they may be, say, $1,000 a month. But in exchange for that, it's replacing thousands of dollars of damage that come to you. And so, like you just said, if you have those thousands and thousands of dollars, then fine, self insure yourself.
right.
But if you don't be the person that when something strikes, you say, oh, I don't have that money, because basically that's just years and years of financial ruin that are coming your way.
Okay, guys, you heard it. You heard it from Thomas Covington from the Covington Agency. And this is Stacy from Stacy Sells Philly. Tom, how can people get in touch with you if they have a question? I have your email address. I'll put
hmm
that up.
you can also
And
go, yep, you can reach me through there, my email address. You can also reach me through Facebook at facebook.com// my agent, Thomas Covington.
wow,
Okay, you can
okay.
reach me right there. Okay, you can also call me at my office at 678-909-5285. And then also, you can reach me by cell at 404-596-3951.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So I want to part soon here, but I want you to give me and the audience your
Mhm,
top three bits of advice on
mhm.
insurance.
Insurance is truly a pain in the butt, right? It is.
No one likes to pay for
You're right.
insurance, Tom.
Nobody
I've been
wants to
so
talk
sweet
about
the whole
that.
time, but let me just say it. No one wants to pay for
No one
insurance.
wants to pay for insurance, but we all love the benefit of it when you need it. Okay. And so understand it as and insurance is not an investment tool or anything of that nature, but understand that it's a protection tool that will exchange your dollars for thousands of dollars to take care of you should disaster strike. Now, how often does that happen? Well, it happens more than you think it does. There was a situation I just saw yesterday where a tornado struck and it just hopped around the neighborhood and just hit certain houses. So certain people were saved, other people were, yeah, and certain other people had total devastation. Don't be in that situation when you do that. Don't be underinsured. We tend to think that state minimums and those type of things are just cool because it gives us the lowest rate.
Right.
But if you're at home during the day and you're watching television, it's full of commercials, injury lawyers talking about giving them a call and they'll take care of you and get you that big check. Well, guess who's going to have to pay that big check? Well, insurance companies will go through and take care of those things, but what you pay for is the maximum limits. And then those limits are what you're liable for. And anything above that is also what you're liable for. Well, what the insurance company's liable for. But above those limits are what you're liable for.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, so don't
Okay.
have a $500,000 home and your maximum limits are only 50 and $100,000. Because going after your home to pay the costs, the court costs, and pain and suffering in a case, that's not good because all of a sudden you're bankrupt, you lose your home, you lose those things. You don't want that stuff to happen for you. So be mindful of that as you go about doing your insurance. Be smart, understand your policies, know how exactly how much you're going to be paying, understand your policies, and have your agent walk through that stuff with you. And
Okay.
sometimes it is worth it just to pay a couple of extra $100 to make sure that your family's secure.
All right. So maybe the average price of a home in Atlanta is 500,000, but not in
Mm.
Philly.
Right,
we're,
exactly.
we're a
So it's
little bit
even,
lower
yeah,
than that.
yeah. Okay,
Much
so,
lower.
okay,
So
okay.
we have lots of very expensive homes, but our row homes are substantially less than that.
Well, and that's
So
why insurance is an individual product. And we all need to stop making it a blanket statement. Oh, my neighbor got this rate or whatever. Well, that's not who you are. That's not
right.
what you have. Everybody's different. So your insurance policy is based on your individual needs and what you need to take care of.
Okay, you guys heard it here. We don't have any other questions coming up. I appreciate those who did comment.
Yeah,
And I want to thank you, Tom, from the bottom of my heart, coming on and talk to us and letting us get acquainted with you and learning a little bit more about insurance. So
absolutely.
thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to say goodbye to you.
Okay. Thank you
We'll
for
talk.
having me. I appreciate it. And
Oh, you're welcome.
give me a
Thank
call
you.
anytime, and all your guests out there too. If you have any questions, be a great
Thank
day.
you. All right, guys, you heard it. All the insurance questions answered. If you have any more, make sure you comment at the bottom. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you the second week of May live on Thursday night, Facebook Live, and we will be chatting with an architect and interior designer. All right, guys, have a great one.